So I don't know if, I know Ezekiel, you said that you hadn't had a chance to have a look through the document I made. It'll be there anyway, so hopefully it'll be useful for after this as well. So I'm going to go through creating and maintaining a WordPress website. So this is the home page of WordPress. It's going to look a bit different when you first come on it because I've already got a couple of websites on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what it's like to create a website to start off with. So okay. So if we're going for a free WordPress website, then it's going to have .wordpress.com on the end of it. So you'll have to think about how long you want the your website URL to be. So say for instance, if I wanted to go Tansdev Trust. Okay, so I'm going to just put that in for now. You can always change this.
Sorry. I think before you proceed, may you please go back to where you started, the starting point?
Yeah, it might look a bit different when you first start, but it will essentially guide you to make it to where to go to make a website. So for me, it should be on this left-hand side, and there's add a new site by here. Okay, so but if you click up, as you can see by here, the WordPress My Site, then you should be able to go from there and you should see add a new site. And then you just click that. So is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent, no problem. So when you do choose something, remember that you're going to have .wordpress.com on the end of it. So you might not want it too long. And plus, if say for instance I wanted to put a hyphen in, it doesn't usually like that. So try to stick to just letters if you can. But I'll show you a bit more about that later. I'll show you how to change it if you want to. So just press continue and then choose a domain. Now, as you can see, Tansdev Trust has already been taken. So it's just going to give you something with all of the numbers on the end, .wordpress.com. Now these ones cost money, so don't want that. I want a free website. So if you just continue.
Sorry, Cathie.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You say the rest, they cost what? Money? Hello.
Sorry. Yes.
You highlighted the first one.
Yeah.
Then you say the rest. What?
Can you repeat this? Yeah, the rest of them, they will cost money. So usually they cost you something around above 10, well, over in the UK it's above £10 plus per year. So you can choose a different annual plan where you can get your own domain name. So whether it's something .com or .org instead, and you can remove this WordPress bit in it.
You said they cost £10 per year?
It varies really. It depends what plan you go on. In a couple of steps, I'll show you how much that it can cost. Because there's a bit in a couple of steps time where it'll show you the pricing of everything. But if you just want a basic website, then I would suggest just going for the .wordpress.com, and you can get rid of all these numbers and you can find something that works best for you as well. Okay.
Okay, fine. Let's go on.
Okay. So then you come to choose a design page. Again, this doesn't really matter too much at this stage because you can change it as you and later on, once you've made your website, you can change all the different things really and customize it to how you like it. I would personally go for something quite simple laid out, something like this, Overton. As you can see, it's quite simple and it's quite easy to work with. So then once you click on that, you go to the next page. If you wanted to go back, you know, obviously you can just go back again and just double check that you don't want any of the other ones. But the best one that I would suggest is something like this one. But you can afterwards, and you'll find that there's a lot more designs that you can choose from as well. Okay, so the next part, it asks you to pick a font design for your website. Again, it doesn't really matter at this point. You can you have a lot more flexibility later on where you can choose, but for now I'm just going to go, and you can see, so if you click on them on the left hand side by here, you can see what it looks like as well. So I'm just going to go for that one for now, and I'm going to have a play later. I'm going to have a play again in a minute to decide which ones I like. Okay, now these features I would suggest you just skip from, because all of these essentially cost money. So and they'll be added to your basket, and it just makes it a bit more complicated. So with this, when you come to this page, just press skip for now, because we don't want any of that. Okay, so then we get to the selector plan. So this is where it'll cost you money, and it'll try to suggest different plans earlier on at the top of the page. So as you can see, if you did want to pay for something, you could either pay for it monthly or annually, and they do cost a bit. So for instance, this is the most popular one, where you can get a free domain. So you can get rid of the WordPress in your domain name. So instead of being tansdevtrust.wordpress.com, it could be tansdevtrust.com or .org, whatever's available. You can get rid of the WordPress ads. You can upload videos, and you can generally do a little bit more, quite a bit more with the premium when you pay for it. But again, it depends really. You can also do a lot with a free WordPress website. So I would personally recommend just going for the free one to start with. As you scroll down, you can see all of the different options and all of the different plans included. So, and then keep scrolling down, and you can see the prices billed yearly. So, and as well, if you start with a free website, which I would recommend, you can get a bit of a feeler for WordPress and how it works. And as well, sometimes you might also get offers coming up afterwards where they'll kind of reduce the yearly price if you did want to pay for a little bit extra. So, but for now, I'm going to choose the free plan by here. And it's building our website for us. So this will now take us to our dashboard. No, it won't. It'll take us to our home page, if I'm right. Let's have a look. You'll have to excuse my internet. It's a little bit slow today. There we go. Okay. So this is a page this is our home page that we are editing at the minute. So I will go through this a little bit more later as well. But for now, I'm just going to go over here, and you click on the WordPress bit up here. And if you click on dashboard, And this will take you, there you go. This will take you to your dashboard now. So I would suggest going back over to your dashboard before you start playing with your home page, so then you can get a bit more of a feel for where everything is and how everything works as well. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go to the appearance down here. So everything you'll need to customize and maintain your website is on this left-hand panel. So as you can see, you've got your posts, you've got your media, your pages, and then down here you've got some of the other things where you've got your settings and your appearance. So I'm going to go over to appearance just to show you how you can customize your website further from, because really through those first steps, it's you're a bit limited for choice. So I'm going to show you this. Okay. So you've got themes, customize, widgets, menu, and menus, and those are the ones that really you'll be interested in. So I'm going to start off with themes. As you can see, if you scroll down, you have a lot more themes here that you can choose from, and they're all customizable as well. So so you can essentially tailor them to how you would like them to be, how you would like your website to look, with different colors, different fonts, those kind of things. So you can also click on show all themes and keep scrolling down. Make sure, because some of them do cost, so I'm going to click on free to sort them, so I know that I'm only looking at all the free themes. And you can see that there are a lot of themes that you can choose from. So even with a free WordPress website, you have a lot of variety of how you can have, how you want your website to look. There's a lot of variety here. Now, I would probably suggest a few ones in particular. Say for instance, if I scroll back up, this one's a good one because it's quite easy. It's not too complicated. It's quite clean. So anybody who comes to visit your website, it'll be quite clear for them to see everything on your website. And it's still got enough features without making it too complicated. So once you click on that, you can have a little look, and it shows you all the different features that it has on this theme. And you can keep going back and having a little look at them all, and you can activate however many you like to see which ones you like and which ones you don't like. So I would recommend having a bit of a play around with all these different themes until you find one that you think suits your website and that you're quite happy with to work with. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and you can see by here there's open live demo. So I'm going to click on that. And here you go. It shows you what your website will look like under this theme. So as you can see, I haven't got anything really much there for the minute. This is just how they give you your website. It's almost like a template that you start off with, and you can remove all these bits afterwards and change them to how you like. But I quite like this one, so I can also have a little look by here and have a little look how it looks on the phone. I've decided still quite like it, so I'm going to put try and customize, and then it will take you to the customizer, and I will show you again where I'll show you again after this where this is in the panel on the left hand side. But basically, this is where you can customize everything on your website. So if you go to site identity, you can put a logo up there. So you can either create a logo, which I don't know if it costs. So if you already have one, click on that, upload files, and I've got all sorts on here, and I have no idea where everything is. So I'm going to leave that for now, but put your logo there. And I'm going to put the full name here. And if you have a tagline, you can put it in by here. There you go. And as you can see, this goes, so that's come up here now at the top. So you've got the name of your website, and then you've got the tagline just underneath. So essentially, if you come up with a smaller tagline, then it shows visitors straight away, the second that they land on your website, what it is that you do. So so they'll have a bit more of an idea looking through your website, and they'll kind of, it'll intrigue them a little bit more as well. Now this bit by here, the select site icon, I would really recommend you putting that in there as well. Now, so if you find your logo, I would recommend you putting your logo here and here. And what that will do essentially, if I show you by here, see if it'll come up. As you can see at the top, you've got the logo in the tab. So that will essentially, just give you a little bit more in your website, showing you this is who I am, essentially. And instead of having the WordPress logo, which would show up as well. It will also show up on things like on browsers. So whether you use Google or something, that will then show up as well. Okay, so once you're happy with all of that, go back on the arrow and you can go to colors. So you can select all the different colors you like. So this is the background color. Don't really want a background color. So I'm going to stick that, the white in that, and then could have a blue one at the top. So have a little play around with that. It's all about trying different things when you're setting up a new website to see what you think works best. So I'm going to leave it as that for now. Theme options, these will all of this that you see here could vary depending on which theme you choose. Because it depends, whichever theme you choose, it'll have different customizable features in it. So on here, it doesn't really show much. Show search and header. You'll always want your search and header. That way, people, if somebody's, say for instance, if you're doing different projects that you want to showcase and somebody wants to search for your bee projects, for instance, then they can just put bees in right up in the top then, and they can find everything that they're looking for. And then if you wanted to show your author bio as well, and so yeah, happy with that. Cover template, if you wanted to set a featured image to use as a background, but this bit isn't really too much to worry about. And then here you go. Here you can, where before we chose the fonts for out of the, I think it was about 5 or 6 pairings, you can choose anything you like now here. So you can go through them all. These are for your headings. And as you can see, you can choose from all different kinds of fonts. I'm going to go for that. And then you can also choose the different sizing. So you can go huge, normal, whatever you fancy. And then the base font, which is what your posts and your writing will come up with. And as you can see, if you look up at the tagline here, that's you can see it changing as I do this. So I'm just going to go for that. There you go. So have a little look through the fonts, see what you think works best. You can go back. Background image, if you wanted one, I would personally suggest not to have one. I'll show you what it looks like just using one of these. As you can see, it's come up. It's a different size to the other one, so you'd have to have a bit of a play. Fill screen. There you go. Bit of a play, and you can move the image around if you wanted to how you think it worked best. However, I'm deciding not to have one on here, so I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to leave that as it is. Right, your menus, these can be quite important. Okay, so this is your primary menu, and essentially it's this one by here. So when you click on it, it shows you your home and your blog, which are the two pages that you start off with. So you want to keep that one as your main menu up there. You can also obviously add more pages. So say for instance, if you had an About Us page, if you had a page where you put a contact form in, or a page with your projects or your photos, then you can add different pages in there as well. Go back and go to your social menu. Now this is important too. I would recommend that if you don't have any social media channels for your website or for your organization, which you're creating your website for, I would look into that. So these three are really good ones to have. So if you wanted, here you can actually link your Facebook page to it. So as you can see, they've just got the WordPress.com. So I would get rid of that, and I would put Tans Dev Trust, or whatever it would be for you. Okay, so down here you can see where essentially you can have your different menus. So you can have them in different places, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's mainly about making sure you've got all of the right pages on this menu. So you've got all of your pages here, and that you're in your social menu, you're connected to any of your social media channels, which if I scroll down, you can also see down here. So those are your menus. I'm happy with that. Right. Content options, these are for your posts. So when you write a new news post and things like that, these are essentially you're customizing your standard, your default content options. So whether you display the date, the categories, the tags, whether you have featured images, things like that. But you can always tweak these to each post as well, which I will show you afterwards once I've finished this, when I show you how to make posts. Right, widgets. I wouldn't worry too much about the widgets, to be honest. So down here is your footer. You can add widgets. So if you see here, so you can have a look at the archives. So a monthly archive of your site's posts. Have a look at your categories. A category cloud is sometimes good. I'll tell you a bit more about what categories are and, you know, creating the best ones. Display WordPress posts. The follow blog and the follow button, they're good ones to have. So if I wanted to put follow button in there. So if I go down, there you go. That's now come up there. Just show you what the rest of them is. You can also put an image. You can put Instagram. You can link it to your Instagram as well. So once you've linked your website to your social media via the menus that I just showed you, when you put that option in, it will actually give you, it will show you a certain amount of posts, your recent posts on Instagram. Obviously at the minute I haven't linked anything in there. So that is your widgets. Again, I won't worry too much about that. Have a little play, see if there's anything of use there. The follow button is a good one to put in, as it will essentially let other people who are on WordPress, who like your website, know when you've posted something new. So that's quite handy. And then your homepage settings. Again, nothing too much. You can really skip this one probably. So your homepage displays whether you want your latest posts, so all the posts that you want on there, on your homepage, or static page. Now I want a static page on there, so I can say welcome to Tan's Dev Trust, this is what we do, and I can put a couple of photos on there to create it as a home page. And then I want our post page to be the blog page. So I'm not gonna play around with any of that. And then don't worry about the additional CSS, as that's a premium feature anyway. But so that's not needed. So is everyone all right with this part of it? Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to press activate and save. There. So it's telling me now that that I've customized everything that I wanted. So I've chosen the theme, I've customized it how I want. Now I'm going to go and edit the homepage, and I will show you how to do that. Now, this is the page that we originally landed on when our website was developed. This is the same page that you will essentially have when you create a new post each time. Now, this is essentially, I don't want that. I want, I'm going to just put, there we go. I'm going to put that down there. So that is your header of your page. So if you put the title, the name of your website or the name of your organization up there, then people will land on that straight away. Now, as we scroll down, you can see that there are quite a few things that are already here. Now, WordPress does this so you can work on a template, essentially. So you can either work on a template, or if you simply wanted to get rid of something, so say for instance, here, right, okay, so now I've highlighted this. This little bar is how you essentially edit what they call blocks. So I could either change the style of this block to something different. I can drag it if I wanted it somewhere different, if I wanted it further down, or I can move it back up again using these little arrows. I can change the alignment. So if I wanted it more center, I can insert a link, which I'll show you in a bit. I could crop it, I can replace it, or if I click on here, I can remove it if you don't want that block. So if you would rather more of a clean slate to work off, a clean page to work off, I would recommend just moving all these so that you have something cleaner to work with. So then, as you can see, that's moved over. Okay, so this as your editing page, I'm going to show you, this little WordPress sign up here will take you, as I showed earlier, back to your dashboard. This little button is how you insert new blocks. So whether you want to put a paragraph or a heading, a list, you can, if you scroll down as well, images. A video is a premium feature. However, if your video is on YouTube, I will show you how you can link your YouTube video so it essentially comes onto your website, onto a page. So you can do a lot here. You've got buttons if you wanted to send people somewhere else to a different page, then you can put it in a button. So, and you've also got by here patterns. You can have a bit of a play around with this. This is essentially how you can see. So here, for instance, I could put a full width image with a bit of writing and a button at the top if I wanted to. I could move it up to the top. I'll just leave it there. And so then they will, whoever visits this page will land on here. I can edit this. Right. Just to put a little bit about it, and with this, you've got a little button. So if I highlight that, I could put a link in by here. So I could put, or if I put, now, if you're ever going to put a hyperlink in, always make sure that you click this so that it will open in a new tab. That way, when people click on that link, they will still have your website open whilst going to different pages or different websites that you're linking them to. And then you go back up here and you just press enter. So then that has now become a button. It's become a hyperlink, which will mean that people can click on that and they can go to where you want to send them. And then if I wanted to, I could also change this. Now, when you press replace for the image, you can either open the media library, which will take you here. So as you can see, you've got the one photo that I've uploaded, and this is the photo that came with the template that I chose. So I'm just going to put that for now. And as you can see, it's come onto here. Now, it will depend on what kind of photo you use. If you wanted to use something like this, obviously, and you can upload new photos here. You can connect your WordPress website to your Google Drive as well. So that is how essentially you would replace the photos. If you decided, I've decided, don't like that, remove it, it's fine. It's all about having a bit of a play around when you're first getting used to WordPress, especially, and with all the different blocks, it's definitely worth having a bit of a play around on here. So if I just show you the rest of the top bar, now this little pencil icon will show you the different modes, so you can either go on edit or select. Here you've got your undo button, so I could undo what I last did and then redo my last action as well. The little I button is your details. If you click on that, you can see everything basically that you've got on that page, all the characters, the words, you've got all the different outline with the different headers as well. Not to worry too much about that. This is your list view. So again, don't need to worry too much about that. Right, and then you come over to here and you've got your preview button. So we click on that. Every now and then, I'd recommend coming to have a little bit of a look on this whilst you're editing, because it's hard to know when you're editing in that with all those blocks how it's going to look like on your website. So you can have a little look how everything's turning out. If you've put a paragraph in, if you've put an image in, see how it looks like on here as well. And if you click on here again, I would usually recommend you checking out what it looks like on a phone, because a lot of people do look on websites on their phones now. And you can just have a little scroll through and see if it looks all right. This is your update button. Your launch button. Now, obviously, the website isn't active yet. It's still private. So whilst you're working on it until you launch it, so probably stay away from that button until you're happy with your website. You can switch to a draft as well. So this is currently published in a private website. And this little cog is where you can click on to come to your settings. So whether you're working on a block, you've got all the settings of that block. So whether you want to change the font size or the line height, you can choose the color settings, whether you want a drop capital, as you can see by here with the W. So you can, with this cog, you can choose all the different settings for each of the block as well. All you have to do is to click on each block and it will take you to the setting. So if I wanted to fill that or change the different outline of it, change the width, the border ratio. So have a little play around with these settings as well. Okay, so when you click on the page settings, you can see that it's the visibility is public, although remember when you first create your website, it's not published yet. So it's only you that can see this at the minute. And you can see when it's been published. You can move the page, you can to the bin if you like, if you decide you don't like it, although don't do that with the home page, that's important. This is the permalink. So as you can see, we haven't changed the URL yet. So this is our URL for our website. The featured image is important. So I would always recommend setting, if you can, setting a featured image for a page. Just going to use that one. and that will basically come up. So whenever I share the page now on any posts, or if the page pops up on a website browser, then that image will come up alongside it. So it's by putting a visual there, you capture your audience's interest a little bit more. They tend to lean more towards visual cues as well. No need to worry too much about the excerpt or the discussion, whether you want to allow comments or not on each page. On the home page, generally don't worry too much about it. And I'll show you in a minute how to moderate those. And then you've got your page attributes, which again, don't worry too much. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now. And I'm going to go back. Always, always, always make sure that you have saved it. I would recommend saving it every few changes you make, so so you don't lose anything. Okay, so then we've gone back to here, and as you can see, this is kind of what it looks like at the minute, which is, you can change everything later on. And my website, hang on a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go to settings just to show you what's in the settings. Right. So again, you can change your icon by here, your site title, your site tagline. Okay, you've got your website address here as well. So you can either buy a custom domain, again, that'll cost money. If I just click on that for a minute and show you. Here you go. So this essentially is how much it would cost per year. So it's quite pricey, really. So I'm just going to go back on that because I don't want to buy anything there. But if you scroll down to your site tools, you can change your site address here. So if I go onto there, there you go, Tanzania Dev. I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to change the site address so it doesn't have all those numbers at the end, and you can see what's available for you. So it's still .wordpress.com because it's still a free website, but you are now you now don't have the numbers there, and it's just a little bit easier. Here with your users, you can add people in using this invite button to come and help manage your website, and you can also see your followers, which obviously is only me at the minute because I've only just created this. Under your comments, you can see all of the comments that you put. Now, you can, on the settings bit, you can essentially tailor your settings for your comments. So whether you want to be able to moderate them all before they appear on your website, things like that, whether you want people to have to sign in with their email address before they leave a comment. And things will come up by here so you can check that they're all right. And on here is your pages. So at the minute, you've only got Tanzania Development Trust, so that's your home page and your blog. Then you've also got your drafts, which is just the home page, and any schedule or trust page. So you can find all your pages here, and you can add a new page here, or you can also add a new page by here. Your media, you can see everything, all the media you've got, all the images, any documents you upload, any video or audio. You've only got 3 GB on the free WordPress, but it's still quite a bit. It sounds a bit smaller, but you can fit a lot on there, and you can add new from here, or you can upload them from your whether you're doing creating any pages or any posts. If I go to posts, you will see, now these are just a couple of draft kind of posts, almost like templates that come with the theme. So if you don't want those, trash them. But you'll be able to see all of them here, any drafts that you've got, scheduled, trash. What I'm going to do for a minute is I'm going to switch sites, and I'm going to go over to MVG, and I'll just show you what it's going to look like once you've got it up and running. So this will be your home page. So you can see all your views here. You've got a quick menu here. But otherwise, everything pretty much the same. This is your stats page. This is quite useful for when you start maintaining your website, because you can start to see how many people each day come to visit your website. And as you can see where they're coming from, what they've been viewing. And if I switch over to months, you can go days, weeks, months, years. You get a bit more of an overview as well. So it's just a bit of a handy tool, this, just to see how your website's doing, and how people are behaving on your website as well. So where they're going, your most popular day, your most popular hour, which you may want to schedule your posts to as well. So yeah, I would recommend just checking in on that every so often. So this is what your post page looks like when you have some posts up. Now, as you can see, I've got one draft here. So I'm going to go to this draft, and I will show you what it looks like when you're creating a post. Okay, so here I have created most of a post about taking climate action for MVG. Now I've got the header, I've got the title up here, I've put this, which is a pull quote. Now usually that is the quote, and then that is the person who said it, but for this I've decided I'm going to put it to try and emphasize it. Then I've just got a paragraph. This is I've done using a column. So I've got 2 sections of a column, as you can see by here, where I've put uploaded an image by here and a paragraph. And so I'm mostly done now. All I wanted to do is go here. So this is your YouTube URL. So as I said earlier, on the free WordPress, you can't upload your videos. You can upload images and documents to your website, but you can't upload videos. However, if you do have a YouTube account, then you can upload them to your YouTube. You can add a block on here, as you can see that I've already done. So if you look for YouTube, you can see the YouTube sign by here, which is what I've added here. And I'm just going to go over to YouTube for a minute to go and get the address. And what I want is this video. So I'll pause that. So I'm going to get the address from up here of that video, and I'm going to put it and paste it in here and press embed. and then that will come up on your post. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So I'm going to press save just to make sure I don't lose anything. And if you press preview, again, you can see what your post is going to look like for everybody else who comes up, who clicks on it, all the visitors. So this is what it looks like. I'll scroll down. And then right at the end, got the video. Okay. Just double check what it looks like on your phone as well. Just quickly scrolling through it, just to make sure that it's easy to read, and people won't be put off by it if they do come on their phone. And then press close. However, if you did want to go back onto that, you can press visit site. It will take you to a new tab, and it will show you what it looks like as a full, fully open tab. Okay, so I'm going to go back, close that, and I'm going to go onto these settings, go onto the post, and just double check that all of these are okay. Now, when you first come onto the categories, I haven't shown you about the categories yet. I will just quickly add that in after this. As you can see, I've added in several categories by here. It will go on to uncategorized first. So the best practice is, before you start posting anything, to go onto the categories, create certain categories. So, and try to keep them limited and a bit more general. So say, for instance, you can see here I've got water, got food security, and here I've ticked climate change because that is what this post will is about. So if people are more interested in, for instance, education, they can find all the posts about your about education a lot more easy. So that's why categories are quite useful as well. Don't worry too much about tags. I personally don't use them as much. Your featured image. So as you can see, I've selected an image here. And again, don't worry about this part. And your discussion, mainly worry about that. If you want any comments, leave that ticked. If you don't, then you can just always untick it. And there you go. And I'm happy with that now, so I can just press publish. It will double check that you're happy about all of these. So, and if you connect your website to your social media, especially your Twitter, if you have a Twitter, then you can send a tweet directly as your post is published. So seems it's Earth Day. I'm going to put here. I'm just going to there we go. So I've got a little tweet there, which will send it out as I publish this post. Now under here, you can put it, if you wanted a private, to only visible to site admins and editors, or you can do password protected, but I wouldn't worry too much about that unless you needed it. and then publish immediately, or you can schedule it if you like. So say for instance, if you wanted to post it tomorrow at, I don't know, 5 o'clock, but you'll be busy, then you can schedule it for then instead, and it will automatically publish it then. Okay, so I'm happy with that, so I'm going to publish. And it's published. So you can copy that link. So that's copied. View the post, and it will take you there. And there you go, that is now live. So you've now got a post, as you can see up here, got the date, you've got the author, you've got this is your category, and then if you need to edit it, you can do it there, or you can do it via the posts bit. So if you click back on here to go back to your dashboard, and I'm just going to very, very quickly show you here. Go back to the posts, and as you can see under here, you've got categories. So as you're setting up your website, I would recommend you setting up some categories here. So say for instance, as you can see, I've got some of the main ones, and you can see the count by here, so how many posts are under that category. I can add a new one, so I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to put global goals in, and you can add a parent category if you like. I'm going to put it under SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. You can add a description, but it's not really essential. And then I'm going to put add new category. And there you go. That's come up by here. As you can see, that is now like a child category to the parent category, the main one, coming under SDGs. And I think that might be about it. If anybody has any questions.
On my side, there is no question, but I would like to know if you may have time in case, yeah, because from what I have learned, actually, I have to go through and practice. So in case I get stuck somewhere, will you be available for assistance?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes I may be a bit slow to come in to help, but I'll always be here if you ever need a bit of help. I'm always on the other side of whether you want to WhatsApp me or give me an email. I'm more than happy to help.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hello, Cathie.
Hiya.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking us through the process.
Quite all right.
So, yes. So I think on our side, as Ezekiel said, is matter of practicing.
Yes.
And wherever we get in trouble, maybe we can contact you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And actually, I was so much interested because we know, OPE has also a website linked with the Envia. You know, in that Envia.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
Envia.
Oh yeah.
Envia, yes, Envia. Just something almost the same like WordPress. You just create your own website, but linked with Envia.
Envia.
You can Google www.envaya.
Oh God.
ENVAYA.
ENVAY.
Envia.
Yeah.
.com, yeah.
.com.
.com. The last one, exactly, yes, yeah. Something like that. So when you yes, if you if you type name, for instance, let's say www.envia.org/ope then you'll get our website over there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, let's try that.
So Envia, and then what was it? Slash
Envia, no, envia.org instead .com, .org.
I found it. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and the slash ope.
Yeah, it's
yes.
in the chat, Cathie.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Cathy,
Yes.
I was so much interested to have, instead of relying on Envia and the WordPress, to have our own independent website. Could you support to build that, please? And even if there will be some costs, we can as well think about them.
I mean, yes, you can absolutely. You can get more features as well on the WordPress website, and so you can get rid of the WordPress, and you can do a lot more with it if you do pay. It's all a matter of weighing up whether you think is worth it as well.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think that will come down to your decision. If I just go over here for a minute, if you can have a little look at all the different plans. Hang on.
I think, William, you need to work out who's going to update it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks great. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so it's whether you want to pay for something. I would always recommend starting off with a free plan, seeing what you can do with that, and trying to work out who's going to update it, who's going to manage the website, what you're going to do with it. So everything that you may need.
Yes.
Because you can get a lot of other features as well, such as plugins, which if I just show you by here. So you'd have to upgrade to get these, but you can get quite a few. So you can get some different features to just upgrade your website a little bit more. But yeah, it does cost, and sometimes it isn't always cheap, unfortunately. So yeah, I would always recommend starting off with a free plan, figuring out everything that you want from your website. So planning it all out, thinking what will be useful to you.
Yes.
And going from there, having a little look at all the different, how much things will cost as well. And weighing up all the pros and cons of things, and seeing what will work best for your website.
Okay.
Okay, is that all right?
Yes. So Cathie, do you know roughly how much will it cost us?
Oh, let's have a little look. Right, okay. So this is over here. So you've got your personal, your premium, and then the rest, the business. That one would be, I think, too big. So it's billed annually, and £3 a month, ranging up to about £20 per month. So, and you can have a little look through all the different features. So you can get a free domain, so you can get rid of the .wordpress within it, and you can have whatever .org or .com, whatever you fancy.
And the email addresses as well. I can't know if
yeah. Let's have a little look, shall we? So I think by the looks of it, you've got there isn't an email address coming with it, as far as I can see. However, what you can do is you can, if you've got a similar email address or account, and you can always, if you want people to contact you through your website, you can add a good contact form there where people can put in their email addresses, they can put in their names, and then they can put in whatever message they want to you. But yeah, so that's essentially all the different things that you're getting with it. Don't know what's at the bottom. Okay. So that's the rough pricing if you did want to get.
Okay, it's almost £3 per month.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think, Cathie, I will contact you later, either by of course, we can arrange maybe next time, maybe next week, to have a Zoom meeting with you. Probably you can discuss more details on how you can support us in having the one we wanted. Is that okay?
Yes, yeah, I should be able to do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cathie.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Is there any more questions on anything? No? Okay, so in that case then, I think that is just about it. I would, yeah, the only other thing that I would say is just make sure that you, if you don't have social media, that you get them so you can promote any news posts that you put up there, any of your project posts. It'll come in really handy to have. If you want any other information, you can get in contact with me. I did also put a document into the WhatsApp chat as well, which basically has everything that I've gone through today on there, with all the screenshots and all the little bullet points as well. So hopefully you should find that helpful as well. But otherwise, I think that might be it. Is Janet there? Right, what's Janet doing?
Are we done? I think so.
Yes, I think so, unless anybody else has any other questions.
Okay. I have my colleagues here. Maybe they might have questions. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. They don't have any questions, Cathie.
Okay. Well, if you like, have a little. You can have a little look again through this, or have another little look through through the Word document. I can send it to you again if you like.
Yeah.
Which hopefully will be helpful. And yeah, just get in touch with me if you need me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get in touch to you, Cathie.
Okay.
Probably next week.
Okay then.
Yes. And sorry, how long can it take to have a to construct it and start now working on it?
For me,
Yeah.
I think it all depends on how long you put into it, really. At the minute, I'm a little bit busy, for instance, so it might take me a little bit longer. It might take me a few weeks to get up and running, because I kind of you know, I'm having to fit things around all of my other tasks. So, but so it depends really on how much. So at the minute I'm working quite a bit, so it might take me a few weeks, but I will always be happy to help. And if you want to have a play with it, and if you wanted to and if you did get the hang of it, because sometimes it's quite easy to, when you start to play around with all the different themes and you get used to how everything works, then it might not take quite as long. So yeah, it all depends really.
I think what we'll do is just to prepare the required information and probably logos, as we said, and the information which we need that it should be
Yes. So
website, because surely even if you're going to support us in constructing, you'll need some information from us.
Yes. Yeah. Did you see the form that I've created?
Yes, I got the form.
Yeah. So
I can fill it. Yeah.
If you fill that in, yeah, then I'll have most of the information, so I can at least start creating your things like your home page or like an about us page. And then if you wanted any more detailed information, you can always put that on there as well. So if you wanted different projects pages and things like that. So yeah, if you fill in that form, if you think of anything else as well, and if you send me over photographs as well, that you think will work well with the website, then I can go from there then.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. Otherwise, wish you all the best.
And you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I think Janet might be in another call. She seems to be busy today. So if you don't have any more questions, you're more than welcome to go if you like. And you can get back in touch with me at any other point. I'm always on the other end of WhatsApp or email if you need me. So yeah, if nobody has any more questions.
Well, thank you so much, Cathie. That's been fantastic.
You're very welcome.
So I've recorded this and I will circulate the link. So thank you.
Okay.